Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click the like button to help spread word about watchJojo animals, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. This officer saw a bag inside a scorching hot car, then he spotted the scared animal hiding beneath. It was a hot enough day outside, never mind inside the sticky confines of a stuffy vehicle. The animal welfare man saw the dog right where the kind-hearted caller had reported he would be. The canine was cowering on the floor behind the front seat, seeking shade under a plastic bag. With no way of knowing how much the creature was suffering, the men decided they needed to act, and fast. Canada isn't exactly famous for its hot weather, but nevertheless, July the 21st, 2017 was a particularly beautiful day for Ontario. The sky was blue, the sun was high, and the city of St. Catharines was sweltering. A nice day for its human population, with people going about their business and leisure in the warm sunshine. But a less than nice day for dogs, with their sometimes ineffective way of regulating body heat. And one dog in particular was suffering greatly because of the temperature. It was a sticky situation for the animal already, and one that could have quickly turned lethal. Not long after the heat of midday, a pedestrian on 4th Avenue in downtown St. Catharines was passing a shopping centre when they witnessed a disturbing sight. While walking through a parking lot adjacent to the centre, the passerby saw movement under a plastic bag in the back of a parked truck. On closer inspection, it was revealed to be a French bulldog under there. The poor small breed pooch had apparently been left inside the vehicle, which had been parked in the open sunshine with no shade. To be fair to whoever had left the animal in the back of the truck, they had the windows open just a crack to let some air inside. But judging by the sorry appearance of the dog, this precaution was just not enough. As a result, the passerby played Good Samaritan, took out their smartphone and made a good call. The concerned citizen reported the issue to the Lincoln County Humane Society, or LCHS. They weren't to know that the local animal welfare charity actually had its headquarters on 4th Avenue. Consequently, 2 officers were able to respond to the dog in distress call quickly. So perhaps luckily it was just a matter of minutes before no less a person than the LCHS Executive Director, Kevin Struband, and an Inspector, Todd Menhand, were on the scene. Struband filmed what happened next on his smartphone, but one thing was obvious from the opening shot. Having ascertained there was indeed a small dog locked inside the truck, the LCHS men knew they had to act swiftly and safely. As previously stated, it was a hot day. Records show the temperature at 77 degrees Fahrenheit, but when the level of humidity was factored in, people reported that it felt more like 95 degrees Fahrenheit. However, the LCHS duo knew the interior of the truck was even hotter. Inspector Menard's subsequent use of his temperature-measuring gun revealed that the dog was stuck in oppressive conditions. Intensified by the magnifying qualities of the vehicle's windows and insulation of the plastic interior, the air inside was stifling. Menard's measured a reading of 106 degrees Fahrenheit, rising to 126 degrees Fahrenheit inside the truck. Furthermore, the dog's owner was nowhere to be seen, leaving the LCHS men with a few options. There was no way to gain access to the vehicle in a conventional manner, and the panting pooch was hardly in a position to let himself out. The confused canine was desperately trying to avoid the sun's glare under a plastic shopping bag. Maynard and Struband felt there was only one course of action. They decided they needed to give the dog assistance immediately and resigned themselves to breaking into the truck. Luckily, the animal welfare organisation had equipped its inspector with the ideal tool for such a task. Maynard employed a car window breaker, which he kept on a keychain for just such an emergency. As the name suggests, the small device is loaded with a spring that packs enough punch to shatter reinforced glass. Maynard positioned it on the corner of the truck's front passenger window, on the other side of the vehicle to where the dog sat behind the driver's seat. The glass broke immediately with a sizable bang, allowing Maynard to reach in and release the door lock. The poor dog looked terrified, but he wasn't to know the guys from the LCHS were acting in his best interests. Subsequently, they took the French bulldog straight to a veterinarian. The dog was deemed mostly healthy, but it was thought that the animal had been rescued just in time. The dog's temperature was found to be higher than usual, but nevertheless the overheated hound didn't seem overly traumatized. Furthermore, once the veterinarian had lowered the animal's temperature, the rescued doggo was thought to have made a complete recovery. LCHS inspectors managed to track down the dog's human, who was more than happy to cooperate with their inquiries. In fact, he made a shocking statement. According to Struband, the man seriously thought that his barely open windows would be enough to keep his dog cool. Speaking to local news website Niagara this week, Struband said, "It's a typical excuse along with I wasn't gone that long, and it's not that hot out, and I was parked in the shade. None of those are good enough." However, because the canine in question was not permanently harmed, its owner did not get charged under animal cruelty regulations. On the other hand, he didn't get away without any punishment and had to pay the price for his mistake. To be more precise, the dog owner was fined with having inadequate ventilation in his vehicle. The sum payable was roughly $250 in addition to vet expenses and LCHS charges. There was also the price of replacing his passenger side window. So in total, not the cheapest lesson the man had ever paid for, but not bad considering it could have cost his pet its life. Despite being given plenty of warnings, irresponsible humans are still leaving their pets in vehicles during hot weather. It is a worrying issue that the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or SPCA, is struggling to fight. But it's not like it's a new problem. Kevin Struband then worked as an SPCA inspector, spoke about it to the CTV network's News Toronto back in July 2013. "We're still getting a call a day. I'm perplexed," he said, and more recent anecdotal evidence points to the fact that incidences of dogs left in hot vehicles are also still happening in the US, despite 50 states of the Union having specific laws against such neglect. It is an all too common problem, but because of a lack of adequate recording, not to mention the fact that dogs can't talk, the exact extent of the problem is unclear. The campaigning movement My Dog is Cool is out there fighting to raise awareness of the issue and prevent dogs dying in hot cars. The organisation guesstimates that anywhere between 15,000 to 27,000 dogs are left in hot vehicles every single day in America. My Dog is Cool argues that even a minute is too long for a mutt in a high-temperature car. But what should you do if you see a dog in such a situation? In some states, Tennessee, Wisconsin and Florida for example, canines caught up in these circumstances are protected under the Good Samaritan Law. This legislation allows a member of the public to damage property if they consider a life to be in danger, and that includes doggos. But breaking into a car could cause distress to the animal inside. My Dog is Cool says this action should only be undertaken as a last resort. The campaign group advises that anyone concerned for a dog's welfare should assess the situation fully and not just rush in. Often the best thing to do is report it to the authorities, but if the situation seems life-threatening, you still need to proceed with caution. On the My Dog is Cool website, it says, make sure you've gathered as much evidence of the situation and dog's condition as you can, including involving nearby witnesses. Even if you save the animal, you might still be charged with a crime and face repercussions in the majority of states. Jeff Pierce acts as legislative counsel to the Animal Legal Defense Fund, a non-profit organisation which seeks to uphold all manner of creatures' rights under the law. Pierce spoke to animal interest website The Dodo after an issue in July 2016. He said, keep in mind the possibility that someone might not be sued by the dog's owner, but you might also be prosecuted by law enforcement for, say, vandalism or property damage. But perhaps it is in both man and beast's best interests that Good Samaritan Law is taken up by other states. In September 2016, Corey Smith, Director of Companion Animal Public Policy at the Humane Society of the United States, spoke to the Today Show. He maintained that the Good Samaritan Law benefits everyone. He said when Good Samaritans save the lives of dogs in hot cars, they were also preventing hardship for the dogs' owners. This is one less tragedy all around. Please do not forget to share this video with your friends below.